9 o'clock on the 4th, and we're going the wrong way. She just literally is 20 feet out of the driveway. We're going the wrong way. Our schedule is completely off. We may have to figure out a plan B here. Minute 5, we've gotten lost more than once, and Jen almost killed a turkey with the rental car.
I did not. The turkey was totally on the other side of the road.
Jen and I are primarily long-distance hikers these days, though we do like other outdoor activities, and we've started to really enjoy longer-distance paddles where you carry everything with you and camp along the way. You could call it through paddling. Somewhere along the way, we had come across the idea of paddling the Mississippi from the Headwaters in Lake Itasca up in Minnesota, 2,300 miles down to the ocean. This was the second big trip of the summer. I had just finished 1,000 miles on the Grand Enchantment Trail, plus the border to Phoenix on the Arizona Trail. Because of the various gear that we had to bring, we decided it made more sense to drive rather than try and fly. So as soon as Jen had finished up her school year that Friday, she had grabbed a rental car, driven all the way out to Colorado, where I was waiting at my parents with the gear. We packed up and took off the following morning for the 17-hour drive to Lake Itasca. Itasca. For whatever reason, I cannot pronounce that right.
This bodes really, really well. And welcome to South Dakota. Best state since Nebraska. Taters is currently trying to figure out how people live here. Because to her, having grown up in Orange County, might as well be talking about moon people. Living on the moon, doing square dancing. Oh, that's going to be the next sticker. Don't put that on YouTube.
We had decided we wanted to do the Mississippi in a canoe, basically because it's easier to get in and out of, and it's easier to carry gear. We owned kayaks, but not a canoe. So I ended up finding a used Quetico 17 canoe in Boundary Waters, and we had made arrangements to get it delivered to the headwaters of the Mississippi, where we would see it for the first time and basically launch on our way 15 minutes later.
How long have we been driving?
12 hours?
How much sleep have we had in the last couple of days?
12 hours since we got across.
Yeah, we're somewhere in South Dakota. I made us take most of our gear in, including our paddles and the bags, because if anybody breaks into the car, I don't want this to abort the trip. Okay, paddle day. We have about 5-6 hours left to Bemidji. Then we're getting picked up from the airport by the lady holding our boat, and we should actually be in the water, hopefully by mid-afternoon. As we walk out of a hotel at 5 o'clock in the morning with paddles and bags. And Jen is super excited about lack of sleep. Sleep is really overrated. She really likes when there is no sleep, but there's lots of adventuring. Oh wait, that's me. There's no sleep. We have a schedule, 10 weeks. All paddling, no sleeping.
We had another 5 or 6 hours of driving to do that morning, and we needed to return the rental car by 1 o'clock if we weren't going to get charged another day's rental. So we got moving early.
How can you tell a masochist has arrived in Minnesota? Well, yeah.
We had decided our first food carry was just going to be 2 or 3 days. So once we got into town, we made a quick food stop just to get a few things and then headed to the airport where we were going to drop off the car, and our river angel was going to give us a ride out to the headwaters. One of the really cool things we discovered when we started looking into the Mississippi is there is an incredible network of river angels all along the river who are just jumping over themselves to help you out. We ended up being very fortunate because one gentleman named Rick was actually willing to go over to Boundary Waters and grab our canoe and bring it back. And when he had a schedule conflict, he handed the canoe over to Karen, who owned a shop next to the lake where we'd be launching. And then she was also willing to come get us from the rental car company.
This is about to get really exciting because Jen got a notice that they expect the rental car back in Lake Forest. And we're in Minnesota. Okay, and we're here. We're just trying to return the car, and then the lady's gonna pick us up and take us to our boat. And here's how much gear it takes to paddle Mississippi. We hope. We hope.
Doesn't look like that much.
I need more wine bottles, I know. And here's our ride person. The mighty Mississippi. Oh, yay, look down.
We usually started our access and then just paddled down.
Yeah, that was our plan. These people were nice enough to store our boat for us after that guy dropped it off. And there is our new home. Okay, it is drizzling. There are mosquitoes, and Jen is trying to get the lettering we had made onto the side of the boat. We decided to try one of them, and it's not working out really well. When I started the ECT, I had a sign on my back that said, you know, hiking Key West to Canada, and some people thought it was really cool, and they could, like, some of the early people that followed me, they saw my sign and went to my webpage. So that was kind of the idea here. Unfortunately, since we didn't have access to the boat, we were limited on what we could do ahead of time. And we are kind of antsy to get going. Also, every time I sit still, I'm getting eaten alive by mosquitoes. Why, yes, I am chompy on the bit. I jumped in the boat and I've been sitting here on my nice, comfy seat. She didn't want one. I want one. Ready to go. Super excited. Have you met me? And here we go with only one of us ready. Oh no! So yeah, these guys were super nice. They wouldn't even take gas money from us. The lady came and stored our boat for us for about a week and then came all the way out to the airport to grab us. This was so much easier than what I anticipated. We seriously had a whole plan of flying in, getting a rental car, driving to Boundary Waters and back, 4-hour drive, dropping Jen off here. I go drop the rental car off, trying to hitch back, looking like a murder hobo. Very easy to hitch, but at least I'd be less likely to be murdered than miss. It's fine back there. So welcome to the next 10 weeks. I'm talking, I can't I've got a paddle, but you know.
Oh, this paddle is so
Hey.
sexy.
Minute 5, we're tired of paddling. We've been bitten by mosquitoes. It's a little wet. Taters is done. She's ready to go home. So these are actually bonus miles. The Headwater Monument, we think, is where those people are. We think. Maybe they're here for us. Maybe there's a banner. Maybe there's ice cream sundaes. Not only do we have our first portage, but we're going to have to shove children out of the way. Piece of cake. It's all downhill from here. The ocean's that way. So on the plus side, if we mess up our portage here, there'll be lots of people to witness. Portage number 1.
The first portage was fairly straightforward, though there's always some scrambling to figure out how the gear is going to work, etc. Once we got the boat back in the water, basically the Mississippi is so shallow for a little while that we had to walk the boat.
Piece of cake, first portage. Walk the boat because it's too shallow. And here's the first time we're crashing because Taters is in control. Yeah, that's the driver back there going, oh no. And then she was disturbingly quiet. We may have lost her, folks. Okay, well, it was fun having Taters. Didn't make it to Taters Tuesday. She just realized that tomorrow is Taters Tuesday. She was all relaxed and happy, and I just saw her shoulders go.
Already, but we just started.
People have been so excited. Not to freak you out, but expectations are in the stratosphere.
Maybe I'll look at all the fish.
The mighty, mighty Mississippi. So that bridge, you can make it under it. It has a lot of really tasty bubblegum, slightly used, but we're all about recycling on this boat, so. Look at Taters ignoring me. We've been in the boat together for all of 15 minutes, and already she's just like, yeah, don't get Taters going on about how magical it is because she runs into the side. But on the plus side, the mosquitoes are all on the edge, so we get to meet so many new friends. And there's ticks, apparently, lots of ticks. So if you want to roll around in this grass, Jen, we can get a lot of good tick footage.
Look at that giant dragonfly.
At least she's going to be happy. Lady that gave us a ride showed us the river in a couple of places. Hard right, hard right. It's a little humid, but the mosquitoes are pretty bad every time we're near the grass. And to think my grandmother was worried about me getting run over by tugboats. Paddle the Mississippi, they said. It'll be fun, they said.
So far, more walking than paddling.
There were bikinis, though.
Ducks. Lots of big, cool dragonflies. Lots of little fish. Oh, a handful of really big spiders. I had a really big spider on my leg that freaked me out in the boat.
We are getting absolutely bloody eaten alive here by mosquitoes. And we were walking for probably half an hour. It finally got deep enough where we could get back inside. but I'm not even able to use our nice paddle. I've been on duty because I can't steer from up here and we don't need to go that fast. So I have the kayak spare paddle and I've just been pushing us off things. I still feel like I'm doing American Gladiator combat here. Lundy, call me Nitro.
Who's that?
Oh God.
You sure this is not mountain lion habitat? Oh, Matt, to the right, look. Beaver?
I think so.
Beaver!
Or otter, I can't see the tail. Yeah, that's a beaver.
Oh, yay!
And I even got to go back to paddling. And Blondie saw a beaver, so she's happy. So much duckweed. Hasn't been hard to follow the channel. There's only been one choice, at least so far. As I say that, oh, I think that was a turtle or something. Uh-oh. So I had to say it, we ended up on like a mat of something and it was too deep to get out. So I had to take the kayak paddle and like push us over. So Blondie's having fun.
That was awesome, man. You did some really strong pulling / momentum forward paddling.
On very little sleep too, so. We just hit a beaver portage and mosquitoes are atrocious. We had to portage across the beaver dam. So many mosquitoes were just getting eaten alive. Had to take the Crocs off because they kept getting stuck. Oh, that was memorable. So this is the first of 2 of the marked campsites that are within our range. We're not seeing much in the way of unofficial campsite options just due to the vegetation. So it's basically we either stay here or we go on for another 10 miles, which includes 1 portage and something marked as a class 1 rapid on the DNR map. So this is one again. Hardest part was getting out of the boat. I stepped in with my Crocs into mud, probably sunk up past my knee. And couldn't get my Crocs out, had to dig. And we were warned about the ticks. I also had a leech on my hand. I assume that's the leech that I had on me earlier. Unfortunately, we don't have treated clothing with us. Are you having fun?
This is like the stuff of nightmares right here. I'm gonna have dreams about these guys crawling all over me.
So yeah, that was fun. I hopped out of the boat, sank down, and once again I had my Crocs on, so they almost got lost. I had to sit there for about, I don't know, 5-10 minutes just trying to dig out my Croc. So yeah, we gotta get better at our landings. Well, this is fun. Can't even get the bag clear. We were trying to establish a quarantine zone here to limited effect.
Okay, so not exactly what we expected on the first day of the Mississippi, but we weren't sure what to expect, to be fair. We knew there was going to be a learning curve. Parts of it, absolutely magical. The dragonflies, the birds, the beaver, the overall vibe. But the insect level is above habitable here. I'm going to have nightmares about these ticks. They're crawling all over me. I can't get them off. I get 1 off and 2 more jump on. So you see we hung up our stuff to try to prevent the tick invasion or mitigate the tick invasion, and in just a second I'm gonna strip and clean up a little bit and then go in the tent and just probably spend all night checking myself for ticks because they're awful. Home sweet home for the night. So this would be why we're afraid to go outside, and I'm even afraid to stick my head outside to cook here, which I'm gonna need to do.
Mosquito season. You could actually hear the hum, but nothing from the hug bugs. I've been doing lots of Blondie hugging.
Don't call them hug bugs.
They're cute.
You can't make a tick cute.
They've got their little legs. They're little tiny, and they're just like, that seems pretty cute.
They're horrible wild insects. Do not call them cute.
Wow.
Oh wait, oh shoot, they're not exos. You better cut that. Don't put that on YouTube. I'm a science teacher.
We were hearing something, couldn't figure out what it was, and Taters just poked it, only to find out it is a turtle. Run, turtle! Escape the hug bugs! Just another day cooking in the tent. This is because the ticks can hide if she's wearing any clothing. At least that's what I've been telling her, and it turns out she's very, very gullible when covered in ticks.